What is going on YouTube? I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. Today we are asking ourselves if we need to be rich to retire. Is retirement only for the wealthy? Well, I was doing a little bit of research and it says here, based on data from 2019 Survey of Consumer Finances, states that the most recent version of that survey, the median retirement savings for all families is $65,000. That is at retirement age, $65,000. Now, given the fact that the average income for a household is about $65,000, people at retirement age only have 1 year worth of savings, and they are relying on Social Security to take care of them in their old age. Now, these are pretty daunting statistics. Here is another survey that says the average 60-year-old with a retirement account has $172,000. But half of the people between 60 and 70 years old have nothing saved. So it depends on which survey you're reading and where you're looking, but even $172,000 is not even 3 years worth of savings. Now that people are living well into their late 70s and 80s, you're looking at 15 years of living off of 3 years of income. It's a pretty dismal situation to be looking at. It's pretty sad to see that type of information. Now, as you all know, I've been saving since I was a little kid, but people often, there's always all of these surveys and these rules of how much you can use to retire. I believe it was Susie Orman who said you need several $1 million in order to retire. Dave Ramsey says to die with dignity. Now, I get different quotes on these from my commenters depending on where you live. They say whether you're rich or you're poor, you get the same type of care in a nursing home. It's not the nursing home that I'm most worried about, although that is a huge issue, but it is the time between age 65 and when you go into a nursing home. It is that time in between that is going to be the most crucial for you to live in poverty and be going to food banks and asking for subsidized some sort of assistance in pretty much everything that you do? Or do you want to live not a luxurious life, but just a regular life without the burden, without the worry of burdening your family or friends for finances, without the worry of, okay, am I going to be able to drive the 2 hours to visit my family, or do I not have enough money for gas to pay for that 2-hour trip? That sort of thing. It's that sort of thing. Now, the $165,000 is very low, but if you think about it this way, so you're getting $1,400 a month from Social Security. Now, when they do these surveys, they don't say what they take into account in how much money you're going to need in retirement. Does that include a mortgage? Does that include insurance and subsidized medical stuff, like medical insurance plus this and plus the Part B plan and the Part C plan plus prescriptions? Are they taking into account a mortgage, a car payment, student loans? I don't know, because none of these surveys that I've been researching show exactly what is included. Are you including rent? I don't know. I don't know because they don't say. So I would say there has to be several factors included in the math if you want to live on less than $1 million, right? So first of all, is your house paid off, or are you paying rent in an apartment? That's the biggest one. Housing is the most expensive problem. But it has to go further than that. So it's not just, is your house paid off? It's, is your house in good working order? So do you have a roof that's about to collapse? Do you have plumbing that is 80 years old and is on the fritz? Is your toilet leaking from the bottom? Is there a drip in your shower? Do you have to pay for lawn care because you're no longer able to physically do it yourself? So I would say, first and foremost, not only do you have to be completely debt free, including your home, but also your home has to be in really good order. You have to have a nice roof that's going to last the rest of your life. You have to have windows that are moderately new and energy efficient so that they're not going to break if there's a fluctuation in temperature. And you don't have to be in the process of renovating a kitchen or upgrading appliances. So everything has to be in good working order. Your car has to be in good working order and not 300,000 miles with every couple of months you have to get it repaired, that type of thing. So you need something, that's your buffer, okay, is to have everything paid off, completely debt-free, including your home, and everything is in good, decent working order and is not going to need any replacement. That has to be the big thing. Now, the next thing is people say, you can live off of, you have $1 million at a 4%, that'll last you the rest of your life. Now, that might be some old science, but we're in a new age. Okay, so you make let's say $1,400 a month in Social Security. Everything is paid off. You're debt free. You live a frugal lifestyle. So you probably don't need $40,000 a month. You probably need $36,000, $3,000 a month. So we're going to round up to $40,000. And you're already making $1,400 a month in Social Security. So you need $2,600. $2,600 from your retirement savings. Now, if anybody watches my channel, you know that I do a lot of growth and income stocks. Income stocks are not stocks, but income investments are dividends. These are companies where you own a portion of the company and they pay you dividends. And I am still learning, and I have had amazing comments from some of my subscribers that have moved me towards certain investments. Now, before I get into this, I have to say, I am not a financial advisor. I have no education in finances or certification other than the School of Hard Knocks. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Do not follow what I do because my needs are different than your needs. And you may lose money in the stock market, so please do your own due diligence before making any financial transactions. This is not sponsored by any company or sort of investment. I think I covered myself on that pretty well, so I apologize for that little disclaimer, but I had to say that. So there are dividends out there that pay 10, 15% per year. Now, I'm just going to throw out some examples. Here's one that I got into because of one of my commenters, and that is JEPI, JEPI. So I went ahead and threw in $50,000 there, and it brought my dividend investment way high because I was doing 4%, 5% dividends. The historic return on JEPI is above average with a below average historic risk. It has a dividend of 11.45% distribution yield. And so if you were to take, I'm just going to round it down to 10% because it's just easier to do the math. It's actually more than what I'm about to say. But if you had $100,000, $200,000 in that, you're making $20,000 a year. So it's actually more than that, but you're making $20,000 a year. Plus, and $20,000 a year is $1,666, which is almost where you're at to where you would need and your Social Security supplemented at $1,400. That brings it up to about $3,000. So if you were to put $300,000 in there, you're looking at $25,000 a year. That brings you up to the $40,000 mark. So that's $300,000. That is $700,000 less than $1 million that people tell you that you need to live on in order to reach that 4%. So I personally don't believe that you need to be a millionaire in order to retire as long as everything else is in order. but there can't be any disparities, any differences. So your house has to be fully paid off, and you have to live a frugal lifestyle. And that is in today's dollars. So it also depends a lot on your age. So if you're 65, that's going to be a lot different for somebody like me who wants to retire early, and I'm 41. That's a 25-year difference. So, but I think that it would be safe to say that if you were 65, this is something that could work for you. And it doesn't have to be Jeppy. There's other ones. I have somebody, I'm not too keen on this one, but somebody recommended SVOL at 17.52% dividend yield, and it does the dividends and monthly payments. However, that stock is down like 70% in the last few years. So I'm not into the SVOL. I think that is chasing a dividend yield, and you don't want to chase a dividend yield solely for the dividend when you're making an investment. So it's something that you have to be really careful with. But Jeppy is not, just one company. It's a ton of different holdings. They've got Adobe, Microsoft, Amazon, Hershey, Accenture, MasterCard, Pepsi, Progressive, Comcast, Coca-Cola, and then they've got sub-industries on top of that. So it's a huge, it's a broad thing. So it's less risky to put something in an investment that is not just one company, an investment that holds portions of a whole bunch of different companies. So that's why I'm kind of into this one. And it's something that I'm going to continue to put money in over the next couple of years. And it's just going to increase my dividend income. But my personal goal, I've already sort of taken care of the growth investments in my brokerage account. The growth is taken care of. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars in there. So now I'm focusing more on dividend investing. So and I'm continuing to learn. I'm still learning. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and I actually get really great comments on dividends in whenever I make a passive income dividend video. So I'm going to have to make one of those here pretty soon, because it's like, hey guys, what else you got out there? Because this Jeppy it's looking kind of good to me. But something that I wanted to go over is these people who tell you that you need $6.5 million to retire. I don't believe that. Even Mr. Money Mustache, the original OG of the FIRE movement, Financial Independence, Retire Early, he says that you don't need to be a millionaire in order to retire. And that's when I started looking into this stuff. And it's true. I mean, if you don't have to be a millionaire, but I think $165,000 is really, really low, and that is poking the bear. That one's poking the bear. So you want to have a buffer, and I would say more along the lines, something to be really safe would be $500,000 to $600,000 if you have your money in the correct investment that provides you a decent dividend yield. And if you live a frugal lifestyle, you may even get to the point where you don't even need to use that full 11 point whatever percent dividend. You can use only half of that and then supplement with your Social Security, and you'll be fine, and you would never run out of money. That is just my personal opinion. Again, I am not a financial advisor, and you should not follow a random person on YouTube. But I just want to give hope to people out there who think that retirement is only for the wealthy, or people who think that you have to have millions and millions of dollars in order to retire. I don't think that is the case. I just don't think that is correct. And if you have another form of passive income, awesome. Maybe you have a rental property. Now, rental properties are risky at the same time as being very good to have a diversified portfolio, but that's something that you can look into as well. But in my personal opinion, you don't need to have millions upon millions of dollars in order to retire, even in the most expensive states like California, where I live, or New York or Illinois. So that's what I've got for you all today. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.